Good Friday Eve, ladies and gentlemen. We are the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network, bringing you sports on this very night. So then, when people get to work tomorrow, no, guess what? Tomorrow's a special day because it's Employee Appreciation Day. So instead of you going to get the donuts and all that stuff, you got the fresh omelet machine, and there's gonna be two people standing there, one omelet talking about how their eggs are getting cooked and they adding their toppings, and there's gonna be two people in the line talking about this show, and then there's gonna be one dude that's gonna try a bus, and he gonna be like, "Yo, what you doing? What y'all talking about?" And then they gonna tell him, "We are talking about the Thursday night throwdown." Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the Gentleman Jack. I'm the Midnight Rider. That's the big guy KG. We bring you the Thursday night throwdown. And as Jack says, we're going to take you through a little walk through sports tonight. KG, take it away.
Well, after that rousing introduction, I'd like to say good evening to everybody. Welcome. As said before, the Gentleman Jack, the Midnight Rider, the big guy KG, we in here. We are in here. First and foremost, it started off right. How y'all gentlemen feeling tonight?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good.
That's good to hear.
Yep. Excited. All good.
All right. Let's get to that excitement because we got Pacers Knicks going on right now. And a live update from that. It is 9-3 Pacers. I'm sorry, 9-3 Knicks. Pacers lead this series 3-1, but the game from Tuesday, this is finished after our show. The Pacers 130, the Knicks 121. Anunoby gave you 22 points. Karl Anthony Towns 24 and 12. Not quite big cat energy, but he's playing like a lynx right now. I need him to play like a lion, a tiger, something like that. But you're playing like a lynx. So 24 and 12. Mitchell Robinson gave you 6, 1, and 7. Midnight Rider, what is that?
A triple single, baby.
Triple single. Jalen Brunson gave you 31.
Triple
Bridges gave you
single.
17. Josh Hart gave you 12 and 11. I like him coming off the bench because that's 2 games in a row he done gave you a double-double. 12 and 11. For the Pacers, Siakam gave you 30. 16 from Naismith. 13 from Turner. Halliburton. What they call him, the Halle Band? 32.
Or Holly Buckets.
Halle Buckets, 32 points, 15 assists, and 12 boards. Triple-double. Nembhard gave you 3. 6 from McConnell. Toppin gave you 5. Shepard gave you 2. Bradley gave you 3. Mathurin, y'all boy, 20 points off the bench. That's how you win ball games. 20 points off the bench. The Knicks shot 46%.
Big guy.
Yes, sir.
Can you read Halliburton's stat again?
Halliburton again.
Please.
32 points, 15 assists, and 12 rebounds.
My computer added up. Did you hear what I asked?
Yeah, you wanted the 32 points, 15 assists, 12 rebounds.
Yes.
That's it.
And
It's a pretty
the
damn
key
good
number.
ball.
The key number was 0.
Zero
was
turnovers.
his key number.
Yes.
0 turnovers.
0.
Ain't that amazing?
You don't get that too often. As a team,
Stat. That impressed me the most.
You said that's the stat that impresses you the most, the 0 turnovers? Yeah.
You lagging a little bit there, Jack.
We gotta get your gerbils right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
if you're using one gerbil with
Trying
this
to get a
new
hold of these
software,
people.
you got to use 2 to 3. Hey, Matt.
Yeah,
Matty Ice checking in, said Jack's internet still AOL. I think. Hey, don't knock AOL.
Come out is like pulling teeth, man. So time out. I'm gonna check out.
All right, just go ahead, step out for a second, and then try to come back in.
Keith said Jack's connection is poor. Reboot that dial up. Matty, the CD upgrade, man. I used to live for that. Pay $60 for that CD to put the go from AOL 9 to AOL 10. Oh my god, and it was so much faster. It was not. We had DSL and it wasn't slow. Only reason why you didn't like AOL because I knew you was cheating in dominoes. Stop it, woman.
Oh boy.
For the Knicks, they shot 46% from the field, 42% from behind the arc, 84% from the charity stripe. The Pacers, on the other hand, 51% from the field, only 40% from behind the arc, 84% from the charity stripe. Knicks won the rebounding matchup 44-33. 17 turnovers for the Knicks compared to 11. And the points in the paint 50-44 in favor of the Pacers. Midnight Rider, while we waiting on Jack. What did you think about this game?
I thought it was a good game. I thought the fact that the Pacers didn't really they turned the ball over, but it wasn't the key people. Like I thought before, Mathurin was going to be a key cog. He actually had a couple good plays without scoring the basketball, a couple hustle plays. He and Josh Hart, they don't play the same games, but they have the same kind of impact where they don't need to just score to have an impact on the ball game, if that makes sense. They can do the other little things around the ball game to get them going. And I think that's what you saw Tuesday night. The bigs are going to be the bigs. I think Towns got hurt late with a knee collision with somebody. So I know he's questionable for night. More than likely, if he should be playing. I mean, you down 3-1. You just got to gut through that. Get the little Tordal, let that little flame shoot through your back, because that's what happened when they shoot you with the Tordal. It's like somebody turn a match on across the bottom of your back. And then you good to go after that.
Well, that's because you got to massage it. After they put a needle out, you got to massage it. Don't burn after that.
Oh, I ain't had the opportunity, unfortunately. When I got mine, I was in the hospital. So,
yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Or you can take the pill form. Pill form's good too. Works really, really, really quick. So I heard. I'm gonna say this, and I said it Tuesday night. I'll say it again tonight. The Knicks got to fight back. They got to fight back. Like, you can't come into this thing and just be like, all right, we just here. Nah, you got to do something. That bench got to score. You got to get more points from your bench. Bench production. Josh Hart gave you 12, but you only got 12 points. I'm sorry, 9 points. So you got 21 points from the bench. The Pacers had one player score 20. You got to get the key to this is bench scoring, and Mitchell Robinson got to give you at least 10 points. But that bench got to score. Miles McBride, Landry Shamet, DeLon Wright, and Precious Achiuwa got to score. You got to show up.
Precious not going to play.
You say what?
Precious isn't going to play probably. Shamet's probably going to get 10 minutes because he's going to use them to start the quarter or the still minutes for Brunson. He's really down to just Hart, Robinson, and what's the guard you named? Bridges?
Miles McBride.
Yeah. That's it. Because that's part of the reason they get not scores, because I mean he doesn't really use his bench. So he needs his starters to give him maximum numbers. You know, he needs the Towns, the Brunsons, the Mikal Bridges or Michael Bridges, whatever his name is. You need all those guys to give you those points. You can't depend on the bench because you don't play the bench.
Yeah.
This I keep telling people, man, New York got to be obnoxious in this series. Like, this has got to be the most New York thing ever. I mean, damn near almost having hot dog carts on the court. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to make this all New York. Every time you come back from a commercial break, you know it's Jadakiss, it's Nas, it's all the rappers getting played. You know what I'm saying? Any song with New York in it, you know, Jay-Z, whatever it is, man, you got to play all that and keep that arena. You need that arena smoking. I mean, smoking to the point that the ice for the hockey that's either underneath the court or somewhere in the back that started to melt. That's what they need to have happen. They need this atmosphere to be different, and they need, when they hit a run, when they come out that timeout, they got to come out swinging again. Like, this is one of them fights you got to fight. Like you, who's the fighter, the muscle bound kid that used to fight middleweight, and his dad used to be in his corner. Can't think of his name. It's not Bradley. It's the other dude that boxes like he's a wrestler or a brawler. He was fighting Danny Garcia, and I swear the last round of that fight, when he was fighting Garcia, it like his pops told him, either you gonna fight him and beat him, or I'm gonna fight you when you get back to this corner after the fight's over. And he came out swinging everything and gave it everything he had. Now he still lost on points, but that's how the Knicks got to play tonight. Hair on fire, back against the wall, trying to survive. Maybe they even play that. Give Gloria Gaynor some love. You know what I'm saying? Play everything you got in the holster, baby.
Quick live update. Knicks are up 23-13 with about 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. Jack, what did you think about
Sir,
Knicks Pacers off break?
Knicks Pacers. What was that, 2 nights ago?
Yeah, that was Tuesday night.
Yeah, 2 nights ago. Yeah, let the old man's brain get kicking going. You know what I'm saying? It's, Pacers are just playing ball. I don't know. I think, like you said, Cat's got to give a little bit more. I mean, what Cat get? 5 points in that game? He didn't even play much in the fourth, it didn't look like to me. So Indiana's too much for New York. I didn't think that would happen. What's the series right now? 3-1?
3-1. Yep.
I think New York wins one more.
Well, they got to win tonight. Because you
got to win tonight.
I think they win one more, and then Indy takes it, and we're going to have an Indy OKC final, which would be fresh meat, new blood. So I'm looking forward to seeing that matchup if that's what it's going to be. Unless, some miraculous 4-game win by the Knicks. So, yeah, that's what I see. New York winning one more, then going to Cancun.
All right.
What's your thoughts, KG?
Well, I'm, I need the Knicks to show up. Like you said, like Jack said, Cat gotta, even if you're hurt, it's some great things that happen in the mecca of basketball with injured players. Especially with this rivalry of the Pacers versus the Knicks that's renewed. But you had Willis Reed walk onto the court with a bum knee. Score the first 2 buckets that sparked a run that won New York a championship. You got Patrick Ewing's when he had the thigh contusion. And he played that game in pain. And he rolled and led them to victory. He just couldn't do it the next game, though. That was too bad the next game. But the Knicks got to dig down deep. And, you got to go and you got to call up Patrick Ewing. You got to call up Larry Johnson. You got to call up Bernard King. Take it back even further. You always got Walt Clyde Frazier in the building. So you got him. You got to call up Earl the Pearl. You got the Dave DeBusschere. You got the seance and get Dave DeBusschere's spirit in that building. Bill Bradley. You got to get all the greats that played at Madison Square Garden. All the greats that put on Nick uniforms. We just lost Dick Barnett. Somebody better start shooting and tell them it's too late. Fall back. You better invoke fall back, baby. And you got to do everything you can, because you don't do it, you're not going to win this series. You need all the help you can get. So the Knicks better they better play this game like it's their last, because it very well could be. A couple of comments real quick. They better put some stank on this motherfucking game like they like it, depending on it. Maddie said, I really have enjoyed watching Indy. They play a fun game.
They do.
J-Dub checked in. What's up, fellas? What's up, J-Dub? J-Dub was in the passenger seat last night. If you have not saw that, if you haven't listened to it, please go check that out.
It's a pretty fun episode, man. Just three guys sitting there ripping it up. Two of them happen to be best friends since they was like 10 years old. So it's a little bit of a change from our norm, but hey, we not normal. So yeah, it was a fun show.
I love hearing that. Maddie said they melted the ice a long time ago at MSG. I love it. Next up, series that was already locked up. We got half of the finals already ready. The OKC Thunder get the gentleman's sweep of the Minnesota Timberwolves. They did it with a 124-94 win last night. For the T-Wolves, Julius Randle gave you 24. 5 from McDaniels. Gobert gave you 2, 1 and 5. Midnight Rider, what is that?
Le triple single.
He had 3 blocks though.
Le triple single.
But that would be a quadruple single then.
I don't pick him for points, Young. Rebounds and blocks.
Anthony Edwards gave you 19. Nothing from Mike Conley. He gave you 0 points, 1 assist. Nas Reed gave you 11. DiVincenzo gave you 6. 11 from Shannon. Nothing from Alexander Walker. Clark gave you 2. 7 from Dillingham. Garza gave you 4. Minot gave you 3 in a losing effort. For the Thunder, Jalen Williams 19. Holmgren gave you 22 and 7. Hartenstein gave you 8 and 5. Dort gave you 12. SGA, the Magic Johnson Trophy winner, 34 points, 8 assists, 7 rebounds. Caruso gave you 8 points, 5 from Carson Wallace. Off the bench, Isaiah Joe gave you 11. As a team goes, this is where the T-Wolves messed up. They shot 41% from the field, 35% from behind the arc, but they shot 80% from the charity stripe. And they only had 15 free throw attempts. For the Thunder, 52% from the field, 40% from behind the arc, 85% from the charity stripe on 21 attempts. They out-rebounded the T-Wolves 46-39. They had less turnovers, 21-14. And points in the paint, big thing. 54-42 in favor of the Thunder. Jack Carr, talk to me about it.
Well, OKC came out aggressive. They came out aggressive. They set the pace. And I think this game was over midway through the second quarter, in my opinion. OKC said, we tired of playing with y'all. It's time to put you away. A number that you were talking about in the stats that just blows my mind. Everybody know Alexander Walker is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's cousin, and he had a big game 2 games ago. Big game, 25 points, something like that, 24?
23.
It's nuts, the numbers he put up this game. He was 0 for 8. He could not buy a bucket in this game. So, honestly, I think OKC said, yeah, we had enough about him. He not getting no more games like that. And I think they strategically said we got to shut him down because he was a big part in that win in game 3. So that really surprised me that he got held 0 for 8 and 0 for 4 from 3. the game is over second quarter. I'm looking forward to watching this young team go. The teams that I wanted to win the championship, I had Boston in the beginning, of course, and then I went with the Knicks after that. Right now, man, it's OKC's title to lose, I think. But I think Indy matches up with them the best out of the East, what's left. So it's going to be a fun running gun finals is what I look forward to. And I think it's going to be great. Midnight Rider?
All I remember is a couple nights ago is a guy that was on this show, one of the three of us, was giving all the big ups to Mr. Sivu Play. And all he did was get 2 points, 3 blocks, and I guess 1 rebound, whatever. He jumped into the triple single lane.
Rudy!
The big Sivu Play. I don't know what it is, man. It just boggles my mind how these teams in these clutch games, these games that they gotta have, they just get down and then it's like they pack their bags. You know what I'm saying? It's no fight back. And I think OKC took their heart to a certain extent as well, because all they did was they put the 4 pterodactyls on the court and let them just circle around Edwards. And I mean, with the long arms that they have on this team, the tall guys with the arm length and the wingspan. Let's take it back to the NBA draft. When we talk about wingspan on these guys is tremendous, and it clogs everything up. I honestly think Indiana, like you said, Jack, that's their best matchup. Indiana matches up well with them because they're long, athletic as well. The only problem is
they're almost same, man.
It's a little different because the way OKC plays defense, that's the big difference. And I think they have better athletes in OKC than they do in Indiana. But I mean, there's a reason why we play the ball game, and I think that's going to be a good 6-game series. Hopefully, we don't get too many blowouts in that, if that's what comes to fruition. I mean, the Knicks still have a fighting chance. They right there in that, they shopping in that Lloyd Christmas area where you say there's a chance. That's about the chance they have right now. There's a Lloyd Christmas chance. So with Miss Samsonite, if you don't get the reference, go check out your Dumb and Dumber.
I like how you threw a little shot there. I like how you threw a little shot there. That was nice.
He always slides them in, you know.
Yeah, he do, and he throw them like body punches. You know, they not meant to knock you out; they just meant to slow you down. And I like how you threw that little body punch in there. But I say that about Gobert because if you go to Gobert when everybody's tired, you need to slow it down. What do? You got to go to a half court set. Gobert, you getting paid entirely too much money just to be a defensive stopper.
That's why I say he didn't. That's why I said he didn't deserve to get paid the money. The big crew doesn't need that.
The late great Dikembe Mutombo, Mr. Fingerwag himself, was a defensive stopper but could score. He was the leader of teams. He led the Nuggets. He led Atlanta. So you not saying he wasn't starting with Denver?
Let's just go on because I don't want to bog the show down. Let's go.
Oh man, don't worry about it. When this is all said and done, we'll talk. Because I need to hear this. You talk about a Hoya now. Be careful now.
Don't forget that announcement too later on today when we get to the back end of the show.
Okay. Got you. Maddie said, I think Indiana and OKC will be a fun final. You know what? I'm going to be honest with you, Maddie. I honestly don't think they're going to let Indiana win it because OKC won it. I don't think they're going to let Indiana win it. And this is why I say that. Indiana, OKC, 2 small market teams. The last time you had 2 small market teams go at it, and this is when San Antonio was still a small market team, you had San Antonio versus New Jersey, the Nets. And they talked about how that was the most boring finals because Tim Duncan has no personality and the Nets were overmatched. It was just so bad. is what people say, but it was actually a good series. Cleveland versus San Antonio, another double small market team. The league doesn't like that. So if Adam Silver has any hand in this, the way I know he does, he'll hit the button the same way he did back in 2000 when Portland was getting ready to go to the finals against Indiana, and he hit the button, and all of a sudden 26 points erased in a matter of time, and everybody went cold because I'm sorry, that was David Stern that did it. David Stern hit the button, and it all happened. That's the only way Portland could collapse in Game 7 when they had that game in the fucking bag. Commissioners have rights.
I'm glad you said that, because you know what? Today's shirt of the day has a number 24 and it has a number 8 on it. And that's the reason. That's the button that Stern hit. Stern hit the Kobe button. Kobe came out, took over. Then we throw the shot, and it's over after that. It's good night, Irene.
It's over.
It's over, baby.
Why did that happen? Why did that happen? David Stern called into the arena. He told the refs, hey, change this around.
Come on.
You can't do
Come
this.
on, Justin Timberlake.
It's not good for TV.
It just did,
bro.
Mister.
I was working for ESPN at the time. I know. We can call BJ. He was there too. We can call him and ask him. We got a whole memo telling us what it was.
Okay. All right.
You ain't got to believe me. I worked there, man. I was there for it.
I'm in the middle.
The correspondent said Rudy got that $43.83 million salary in 2025. That Rudy, that's old Supermax money. Yeah, it is.
Supermax.
Still don't understand how they paid him.
You know what? I heard something today. I was watching TikTok or Reels or something. You know, in the NBA, you get a gold card after a while. Y'all familiar with that?
Nah.
They get an NBA gold card. And it was I can't remember who the player was, but you get it after 8 years. And that card gets you in any arena during the regular season. They show up, show that card, they get the best seat available. But not during playoffs. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
That sounds pretty dope.
Yeah. Well, hell, New York, they bringing everybody back for their playoffs. Everybody is. Shit, Indiana did. Indiana had Rick Schmitz up in there.
Of course, the Duncan Dutchman.
It was tight.
Now,
I like it.
Tell me this, Jack. Because I don't want to talk to Midnight Rider because he ain't gonna be there. He ain't gonna be on the same page with you, and he ain't aquatic enough because he blind, he biased. You telling me in 2000, Arvydas Sabonis versus Rick Smits wouldn't have been must-see TV?
Yeah. Sabonis was a monster, shorty.
And Sabonis had bad knees.
Oh, yeah, health hurt both of them. But Sabonis put in so much time back in his country, dude.
Nerves in his feet.
He put in so much time back in his country playing basketball that when he got here, he was already broke. In my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But it was good, yeah. I like that. What was that other boy name? Detlef Shrimp.
Yep.
Yeah, I liked him too. Yep.
So Maddie said, as the great Michael Irvin says, "Come on, man, Maddie, you know I'm right. That's all I'm gonna say. You know I'm right.
You gotta spell it right, Maddie. You gotta spell it right. It's C''MON. Come on."
The NBA finals will start next Thursday, June 5th. So, if the Knicks Pacers series goes 7 games like we think it will, that'll wrap up on the 2nd.
Whoa. I know I'm in timeout, but there's no we.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about you guys. I wasn't talking about you guys. I was talking about us that are aquatic enough to appreciate what the Knicks are doing.
My boy said, I know I'm in timeout, no, but
I'm just saying, I might not be aquatic, but I got them little rubber things they put on you to keep you afloat. I got floaters on or something because I had the Pacers in 6. I don't know this 7 we talking about, but I mean, you aquatic people can swim around it, but I'm gonna just float my ass on to the Pacers within 6.
It's still gonna be 6 because it's what? It's only game 5 right now, right?
Yeah, it's only
it's game 5 right now.
Right.
And
New York gonna get it, then Indy gonna close it out next.
it's 37-32. Live looking right now. 8:17 left in the second quarter.
We gotta turn the air conditioner on in this mug.
June 5th is when this NBA Finals kicks off. Gents, hold on to your seats because we got to take a switch. Be right back.
Man, that made me think of John Riggins. We used to sit next to a dude that had them big air horns at the stadium when RFK, man. It was the best. Riggins off tackle. Oh, it was the best. Could you imagine being that athlete and people blowing horns for you and shit?
Wow, the best clip ever is that beginning clip on I think it's the NFL Films, and they talk about that game, and all you hear is the chief. Warm up that diesel. Warm up that diesel. Warm.
Yes, God bless Chief. Chief Z.
Now, looking at this hockey, I know this right here may not be what Maddie want to talk about. And speaking of Maddie, he got a comment. He said midnight isn't aquatic, but he did stay at a Holiday Express, and it had a hot tub. I give you that.
Like freaking frat sometime.
But the Panthers take out the Carolina Hurricanes 5-3, win the series 4-1, gentlemen's sweep. They go on to the Stanley Cup Finals, which will be starting. Damn, they only have a time for when to start because we still got to wait for Edmonton, Dallas to wrap up, which is in progress right now. So, real quick live update. The Oilers are up 3-0 on the Stars in a closeout game, quite frankly. So, we may be getting a closeout game tonight if the Stars don't fight back, but we'll get to them shortly. Gents, did you watch the Panthers versus the Canes the other night? Go ahead.
Was you just speaking about the Oilers Stars matchup?
Yeah, I was giving a live update.
Oh, did you? Okay, I was making sure because it don't look good.
No, sir.
I tell you,
but Panthers Canes, that's wrapped up. That's done. What did you guys feel about that off break? Or did you watch it?
I watched a little bit, guys. I did not see much, but 8 goals is cool with me. I like high scoring games. So it started out. Carolina looked good, coming out 2-0 off the break. You know what I'm saying? Carolina 2-0 first quarter, first period, as they call it. My fault. And then Florida just opened up a can of whip ass on them, dude. Scored 3 in the second, 2 in the third to send them some bitches on up to Puerto Rico.
Oh!
So the best team won. Sorry, Maddie, about your Canes, and I think you agree with what I'm saying. The best team won. Minnesota.
Nah, so I saw when I turned in or I got finished with us with J-Dub, I think I turned it on. It was 2-0. I saw the 3 goals from the Panthers, and it just seems like no matter what Carolina was trying to do, the Panthers had an answer for it. And just a heads up, Dallas just scored, so it's 3-1 now off a turnover. The Panthers just kept answering everything, and it looked like, oh, we're gonna get a rush, and then all of a sudden they get a steal or they get a turnover. And it just seemed like that way the whole series. It seemed like no matter what the Hurricanes were trying to do, actually just mirrored the Cap series. It's like the Canes became the Caps and the Panthers became the Canes because they smothered them, they hit them, they were fast. Bob Roski stood on his head. I mean, it was one of those sessions where I just was trying to figure out when it was going to end, not if. I mean, the way they were playing, like Carolina thought they had something, but every time the thrill is gone. They just kept shutting them down. And I mean, they just couldn't. I don't know. I mean, they couldn't feel that beat. They just couldn't get started. And the Florida was just the bane of their existence the whole way, man. It was just crazy watching that game play out and just watching the team. To a certain point, it almost looked like they were defeated because everything they tried couldn't work. I mean, they put the kitchen sink out there. That didn't work. The only person they didn't call was Bobby Boucher.
Midnight Rider, I tuned into it when we was done with G-Dub too, and because we was on so long, I didn't get any good bets in. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to make something crazy. Carolina was up 2-1, and they were still getting negative if you bet on them to win. Money line. Still getting negative, even though they was up 2-1. And then the Orioles were down 2 in the 6th. And that was good odds. So I picked them 2 games just because I ain't getting nothing down. Ain't no bad. Both of them damn teams lost. Didn't do nothing. So that's not good. Don't bet like people.
I'm good. 5-11. 5-11.
Do it the way if I miss my bets, then I just didn't get none in tonight. A lot of times you go in there and do a poke and hope, Midnight Rider bet.
There you go, baby.
Can't do it.
Hey, man, sometimes you ain't got to see the end result. Sometimes you got to just rub the wrist.
Yeah,
like Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder. Just rub the wrist.
Stars just scored. It's now 3-1 Edmonton. The Stars just scored.
Go ahead, KG.
I'm gonna say this. I really, when you lose to a team, they say the thing is you root for that team to go on to win the Stanley Cup because or the championship, because if you lose to that team in the playoffs and you say, well, I lost to the eventual champion, I'm okay with that. I mean, that's the only way you can self-soothe yourself. But I'm not okay with this because I think in my heart of hearts, and I may be wrong, Maddie, Jack, Midnight Rider, anybody listen, tell me if I'm wrong. If the Caps were on their dean like they should have been, and they beat the Canes and faced the Panthers, they could have beat the Panthers and been going to the Stanley Cup final. Am I right or am I wrong?
To quote the immortal Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend. I think the way watching this Florida team play coming into the series, I would have said that at the beginning of the series. After actually watching Florida play, the Caps would have gotten smoked too. Florida would have played. It'd have been just all it would have been. To be honest with you, KG, is it would have been the Carolina series how it played out. It would have just been that a round later. So instead of the Caps getting beat in the second round 4-1, they'd have gotten beat in the conference finals 4-1. Because the way Florida comes out in waves, the Caps got to get better. They got to get a better defenseman to go in there in their top 6, and they got to get a better center in their third line. Like this got to be the end of Lars Eller. You got to start pushing down Carlson and get somebody younger in with a little bit more offensive game, a good mix of offense and defense. I think the guy that got hurt, I can't think of his name now, but the player that got hurt before the series started in the last game, I think you really missed him. If he's playing, you might have a chance against Florida. But as they were constituted in that series, they had no chance against either one.
Couple of comments real quick. Maddie said, "What is this hokey you talking about? Haven't heard of it." He said Carolina was up 2 and had a bad power play, and KK took a stupid penalty, and then it was 3-2. Tried to fight back and tied it, but another Orlov bad play, and it was over.
Yep.
Maddie also said, "Love to see Edmonton beat Florida, but Florida is built for playoff hockey." That's another thing. Going back to the NBA, I'm glad you said that, Maddie, because you triggered something in my brain and made me think. Somebody said, I can't remember who said it. They said the Knicks were built to beat Boston, not to win a championship. And I was like, damn, are we serious about that? And you say Florida is built for playoff hockey. When you build a team for playoff hockey, that's a recipe for success.
Mm-hmm.
And Maddie said 5-on-5, Florida too strong. But if Edmonton gets power plays, look out. And emphatically, the host of Drive Time, right here on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network, Matty Ice said, no, Florida is much stronger, better version of what Carolina is. I talked about this on Monday. I missed that part. Wait. What happened here?
I don't know. I messed up. I was doing something. Sorry.
Say that for the end, Jack. I know what you're doing.
I was just trying to mix it up. Sorry, big guy.
That's all right. It's kind of confused me a little bit. But Florida is going on.
I should have texted you.
Florida's going on to fight for Lord Stanley's Cup in the next round. We talked about the Oilers and the Stars. The Oilers 4, Stars 1. They lead the series 3-1. That game is in progress right now. As Jack said, it is 3-1 now. Oilers. They still got 4:20 left in the first period. Gentlemen, the game from what night was that? That was Tuesday night, I believe. No, was that? Yeah, that was Tuesday night. 4-1. Did you guys watch that? What were your thoughts on that?
I mean, Edmonton it's really simple. Edmonton likes to put the biscuit in the back of the basket. And the Stars, I think, have had since that run in that power play and I think the first game where they scored like 3 goals in like 2 minutes or whatever. Since then, I think they have 2 goals in the last 2 or 3 games until tonight. So the problem is the Stars can't score and Edmonton can't stop scoring. Edmonton's like Michael Jackson. They don't stop till you get enough.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said.
The way they play sometimes, they could be living off the wall.
A lot of scores over there in Edmonton, man. A lot of aggressive players. And I see Maddie said something either earlier in the comment. You get them in a power play, man, they're going to do some damage. They just got some shooters, boy. I like watching Edmonton play, and it brings back memories. Like I mentioned in the past, I used to like the Edmonton Oilers back in the day when Gretzky was there. And you watched Edmonton. They was on, national TV whenever the NHL had a spot. Edmonton was always there playing. So it's nice to see them balling, man. They got a hell of a team.
There's nobody calling Tony.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
A couple of comments real quick. Maddie said Dallas is toast. And special teams, Edmonton is dominating. So if we do get a Edmonton Panthers final, I can't wait to hear Maddie's breakdown of that because I don't have a schedule for the Stanley Cup as of yet. They haven't put up a schedule, but I would love to hear Maddie's breakdown of that. And then
you got to hear all of them because, with Scooter, Vic Carr, Duval Paul, Showtime Sarah, they give you a great breakdown. If you're not knowing anything on hockey, if you don't know hockey, Maddie teaches you. It's the way other Sideline Junkies, and it's part of the reason why I thought he would fit so well with us. Is like he will talk hockey, but then he'll talk to you in a way that everybody can understand it and you can get an understanding from it. And then Sarah just hates everybody. And that's the part I love is like she's just so sweet and her voice is so cute. But then she's like, oh, I hate him. And then she goes on a rant for like 5 minutes. And it's like, all right.
Sarah definitely a plus on that show.
I think she was doing a top 5 or Sarah hate list. I can't remember if they did it or not.
That'd be cool. No, I do. I tune in and they do. They educate you on hockey so well, man. And like you said earlier, last year on hockey, I couldn't even pronounce some of the stars' names. And now, I throw them out left and right. My favorite guy, Mr. Dryside.
And since we're in the process of giving Maddie, Sarah, Vic, Duval, Paul, Scooter, we giving everybody their flowers. I'm gonna say this: when we did that first year, and we did the hockey preview, then we did at the All-Star break, then we did right before playoffs. Matty Ice gave me Smoking Out Coking vibes, and that's where I got my hockey information from. Was Smoking Out Coking, and all you got to do is sit back and chill and just listen, and you learn something.
KJ,
yes, sir.
That's what our network's about that we're building, man. We got somebody that is really strong. We got people that are really strong in certain aspects of sports and know a little bit about others. But the other folks that are strong on it can help it. I'm baseball, high school sports, college sports, pretty much my wheelhouse. You're our historian. You can tell us any of the NFL film stories and the old school stuff, and then Midnight Rider, he baseball, football, knows the numbers. Then we got the what y'all call Keith?
The correspondent.
We got the correspondent who is our PGA golf guru. Then we got Matty Ice and his crew, NHL, MLB, whatever. And then we're thinking about, no, we're not thinking about, we are in the works of working with a high school football coach to make another show. So Sideline Junkies got you covered no matter what sport it is. Peep that.
What did you say? What was that saying you had?
Peep.
Sideline Junkies be everywhere.
Sideline Junkies be everywhere, baby. Be everywhere, Cookie.
Hey, man, that's not even stop. I mean, I'm going to finish off the Barry Horowitz this way. We did 20 minutes on WNBA and another 15 minutes another day on French Open. Like, we got stuff. We got knowledge on topics. And then the thing I love that we do is we take our knowledge and put our expert with us. And then that's how we present it to people.
Why not?
And to think, we used to have a slowdown. See, some of y'all wasn't here for those early days. We had a slowdown during the summer in between basketball and football because baseball was heating up. And I'm I was heavily into baseball then because opening day, I would come home early just to watch. I would take a half a day from work to watch the first games. And that first week, I was good. And I didn't have anybody to talk with me because the guys were busy. They were at work, so they didn't take off for baseball. So we had a dead time where we didn't do any content, anything leading up to training camp, unless there was something big going on. Now we got topics all year long. I love it. This is built into something that's big, and I love the way it's going. And Matty Ice checking in. Thank you, sir. Hey, Matty, thank you. And he said, no, she's been busy with the boyfriend.
That's how it goes. But oh, man, I forgot. Oh, man.
Well, let's jump into some college sports real quick.
Okay.
The NCAA president wants to expand the NCAA tournament. Midnight Rider got his feelings about this. He has something to say. I'm going to toss it over to him first. Then Jack, you come in there. I'm gonna clean it up with my opinion. Midnight Rider.
And we're talking about NCAA basketball March Madness tournament, correct?
Yes.
Because soon they're gonna call the NCAA football playoffs a tournament too. Watch.
Oh, let's jump there first, Jack. look, the comment I made in the chat was the NCAA is a self-preservation league. And with these coaches, the coaches are the ones pushing for you to add teams to the tournament. And the reason they're pushing to add the teams to the tournament is so they can say, oh, we made it to the tournament.
Right.
You get the school that, even if you just get that first round money, that's good money for the schools. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they don't want to miss out on. The big schools don't want to compete with the small schools and share the money. They want to do is give themselves as many shots at the apple as possible. And that's why we're talking about expanding the NCAA tournament. So that 10-10 Indiana team or that 11-11 Minnesota team or whoever it is, they can get in the tournament with no problems and nobody complain. And the complaints will start at number 78 or whatever the expansion is going to. And that's really all this is about, is these coaches want to try to keep their jobs as best they can. And if they can't get in the field of 68, they get fired. So, but they know if they can get into the field of 76 or whatever number they come to, they keep their job another year. You know what I'm saying? They can blame it on the transfer portal and the NIL, and they can use that as their platform to beg for more money because they brought the school board money in because they played the first round of the tournament. That's all this is. This is how can I keep my job better? And these officials at these schools, because it's just like they're trying to ruin the football version of this. They want to get to 16, but the SEC and the Big Ten want to have guarantees. They want to be guaranteed 4 or 5 spots in the playoff, so that way they ain't got to worry about it. Oh, because we played the toughest schedule. We do this, but when you look at it at the end of the day, they do play a tougher schedule, but they play the same kind of football. There aren't great quarterbacks in the SEC. You're not just dropping out great quarterbacks every year. So they get to play defense and stick behind their defense, play this style of football where they can grind you out because they're bigger than you, and go to this and go on. And you're gonna get the same couple teams, and that's all they're trying to do. They're trying to guarantee their seats at the table because they want to preserve their jobs and preserve their seats. And I think it's absurd that you have to guarantee team spots in the playoffs, especially the NCAA football version, if they get what they want. So that's been my soapbox. I just think like they're not doing what's best for the game. They're doing what's best for themselves. And if they can prop themselves up on a college NCAA basketball round 1 victory over Nantucket State, and they advance to the second round, and they get that money, and then they get the money for participating in the second round, and they go back to campus, that ain't bad money. Shit, I think George Mason off that Final Four run they had, we was building new buildings up until like 2019, 2022.
True that.
No, that's all I got on the KG. I just think that we got a bunch of guys that selfishly looking at this. They don't care about the game. They care about themselves, putting themselves in the best position. And that's why when you talk about the NIL and you talk about not being good for the game, the biggest co-conspirators of being bad for the game are the NCAA presidents and the NCAA coaches. Because they want to have their automatics. They want to put it so they don't have to, if they finish 4th in the SEC, I can get in the tournament anyway. Yeah, I can play 9 games in the SEC, but I get to play my 4 games against Directional State University, or they get Toledo State, or they get Kent State in there. No offense, Maddie.
Well, I agree with you on a lot of that. I think it's a bunch of BS trying to expand the NCAA tournament. I thought the playing games was too much, but the way they structured it, I think it's fine. These coaches and these universities talking about, I want to have a NCAA appearance on my resume and get some money for the school. And at first, I was going to argue, well, you don't go to the NIT if you don't make the NCAA. So it's what's up? You don't go to the NIT if you don't make the NCAAs. But I just found out NIT don't pay that handsomely. NIT pays just $4,000 per game.
Mm-hmm.
So I was assuming the money would be a little bigger because, I mean, any college event like a tournament is going to bring in money, you know?
But the kicker is you get the gate from the home game. That's why they allow you to play the home games in your building. Is because that's what makes up for the 4,000 is the gate.
Correct. So, you know, but there are a lot of schools. I think Carolina's done it in the past couple of years. Didn't make the NCAA and refused to play in NIT. Maryland, I believe, has done it too. I don't get it. They're treating the NIT like it's just garbage. And I used to watch both. I watch NCAA and follow NIT, but I don't know. I don't want them to expand it like that. Don't water it down. So that's me, KG. I'm sure you probably somewhere in the same path that me and Midnight Rider talking.
You damn right I am, because you guys got it right and you hit it on the head. And we said this during tournament time about the NIL is taken away from the mid-major runs and things like that. But when you said the NIT, nobody wants to play in the NIT. That breaks my heart because I remember at one point in time, well, let me rephrase that. I can't say I remember because I wasn't alive, but the NIT
was... Hold on, dog. Hold on, man. You know what you are? You that dude that you catch a fish and you come home and it'd be a minnow, and by the time you get home, the fish was that big.
Hey, man. If there's a fisherman out there that says he ain't tell a lie, he a liar.
I'll say this. The NIT used to be the end all to be all. That was the big dance. That's what decided your national champion. So, you know, everything changed once they brought in the NCAA tournament and the NIT became the little fish. Now you got a third tournament that's out there with teams below 500. What's the Crown tournament?
Yeah.
Georgetown played in that tournament. I was like, Georgetown don't deserve to be in that tournament.
Didn't they go to the semis?
I think they won one game. They won one game and then lost the next one.
Oh, okay. I thought they were in quarterfinals.
And something like that. But it was like something I was like, yeah, this is participation trophy.
It was.
You're expanding the NCAA tournament. You already expanded it from what was it before? It used to be what 50 some teams, and they expanded to 64. And at one point in time, everybody didn't make the tournament during the 80s because Maryland had some teams with Len Bias and Lefty Giselle and those guys that didn't make the tournament.
Yeah, so it was
when they expanded to 64, you kind of opened the field up. You should have left it at 64. Now we got playing games at 68. What are we going to do now? What are you going to expand it to now? 72, 74, 76? Somebody's going to get a first round bye?
I think it's
leave it the fuck alone.
I think you add 8 and then you pull the way you make it work is you pull all the conference tournaments to end on Saturday, have your selection show Sunday, and then you can literally get away with playing your games Tuesday, Wednesday to lead into Thursday. So now you can have almost a pre-NCAA first round where you have 2 days with 8 games across the ION and CBS and TNT and TBS on Tuesday night and Wednesday night, and then let that feed right into the tournament, and then you can create different matchups. It's going to kind of mess up the bracket a little bit, but gamblers figure out the bracket. Gamblers will figure out the bracket and how to make it work.
The Midnight Rider, you mentioned it in the beginning. It's all about the money. It's all about the money, y'all. That's all it's about.
Jack was at the nursing home shaking his tail feather.
Oh, nah, those 20s and
50s. I get that it's all about the money, but goddamn, Jack said it earlier this year. It wasn't even last year. It was earlier this year. It seemed like it was so long ago. He was like, nobody pays attention to the first 4 in. He said, KG, you the only one that watched that. Yes, I probably am the only one that's up watching that.
I don't. I've never cared about it. And all the pools I've submitted, like at private clubs, American Legions, bars. They never ask us to pick those games. If you think somebody wins, put it in your first round. But I've never paid attention to them games. It interests me none. They shouldn't be here. They should be number 1 seeds and number 2 seeds in the NIT.
You're about to have more playing games.
I know.
You're about to have more playing games now. You're about to have more teams. And I agree with what Midnight Rider said. You're not going to have the Creightons, the North Dakota states and Wichita states are not going to make the tournament. Those are not going to be the teams you see because the mid-major is dead.
Let's not wish stuff upon them too soon.
Yeah, I know. I mean, they're trying to make it. They're trying to make financial adjustments now, just do like alumni and stuff. Let one of them cats get a hold of some money. I say the mid-major
is dead because if a guy goes to a Kennesaw State, a Kent State, and they have a really, really good season, and they get NIL money to go to a Miami, a Maryland, he gone. So all your best players is getting this money and don't have no loyalty to the school. They gone somewhere else to play ball. They're not gone to get an education. You're killing the mid-major with that. So we're not going to get any more Jimmer Fredettes. We're not going to get Bryce Drews and Valparaiso and things like that. We're not going to get these guys that are like, damn, we didn't know he could ball.
We're not
going to get those guys.
I strongly disagree with you, and this is why.
Okay.
Because what's happening is the NIL is creating a pocket. So within that little pocket that is creating, there you go. Inside that pocket is a place for these high school players to go. So what you're going to start seeing is these high school kids are starting to understand that you're not going. Your first 2 years aren't going to be at Carolina, Duke. You know what I'm saying? Your first 2 years is going to be at Western Kentucky, somewhere like that. Like my buddy's son is a 3-star athlete, and most schools would take a 3-star like 5 or 10 years ago. You wouldn't look to he's a 3-star. You thinking you can in 4 years he can be your starter somewhere, but at 3-star in this era, now you got to go to Liberty, you got to go to Richmond, you got to go to Western Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if Kent State has some NIL, has something going on. Maybe Matty Ice can put some of that drive-time production money into an NIL package. You know what I'm saying? Get some of the kids there. But that's what you're gonna start seeing. Your freshmen up-and-comers are gonna start, if they're not stars and elite, they're gonna start going
one and done. Right. And they're the one and done are going to Kansas, Duke. Right. You're not getting them lower tier players because why? They can just they're pulling them from the mid majors and the lower division teams. And, but it's going to be so crazy trying to follow college ball this year because it's kind of like second, third year of this rollover going on.
We're probably in year 4 because this all happened after COVID.
Okay. Yep. It's going to be wild, man. Because I won't know nobody on Maryland's team. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, was it Nicholas Blake?
Gilchrist still there?
Huh?
Is Gilchrist? Did he stay?
Who's Gilchrist?
Oh, not Gilchrist. What's the boy's name? Reese something. Reese.
No, I think Reese went to Ohio State or something like that.
Okay. I can't remember his last name.
These guys, that's the thing. These guys are taking advantage of the opportunity that the money gives them to bounce around. But the good thing for the high school kids is you're going to get a spot, but your spot isn't going to be at your dream school.
Mm-hmm.
Your dream school is going to be the school that you have to transfer into. So, take the guy at the Commanders pick, their second pick. He went to 3 schools, and then ended up at Ole Miss. He was at Alabama, Ole Miss, and some smaller school early on. And that's how we're gonna be doing our descriptions of kids. Like, oh yeah, that's the kid that went to Liberty, transferred into Vanderbilt, played a senior year at Ole Miss. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
So that's. So I think the mid majors, as long as they're smart and educated on this, they'll start picking their kids and they'll understand. I got 2 years. They are the new JUCOs.
Well,
That's
you know,
how I
guys.
think about themselves.
Yeah, I agree with you. I spoke of Maryland just a minute ago, and have you guys heard any update on Derek Queen in the draft predictions? I heard
Everything I
something the
seen
other day
him go,
very interesting.
the highest
Go
I've
ahead.
seen him go is 6 to Washington,
Yep.
and I seen him go as low as 18 to Washington.
I've seen top 5, and I seen a possibility of San Antonio. Ooh, he would fit nice in San Antonio. Him and
San
Wemby,
Antonio's where?
huh?
San Antonio's what, 3 or 2?
2.
He ain't going to San
I
Antonio.
don't think unless he's their type.
Nah.
But they're loving him. They're loving him in the evaluations. They're loving his personality, the type of man he is. He's getting high reviews, man. So
If that's happening,
huh?
I said I'll put it to you this way, Jack. I think if they're not taking Dylan Harper at 2, then they've got a trade worked out. If he's available
If they take
with somebody at 5 or 6, maybe they let that team. So, like, say the Wizards trade them 6, 18, and a conditional 25 or 26 first rounder. They move up to 2. They get Harper, and then as long as Queen's available at 6, San Antonio would get Queen.
I think they really like
that working.
Yeah, I've heard they really like Queen, and he's getting high reviews. So, I mean, because he was first projected top 20.
Yeah, but I just think
his risen.
I think he's rising, but I don't think you take him over Harper, and that's just. I think Harper's got a bigger upside because that's how they draft in this league. They don't draft on talent; they draft on upside and wingspan.
Well, if San Antonio gets Harper, then they might as well get rid of Fox.
Hold on. 2 things. It makes my heart smile that you said that about Dylan Harper. Because I said something about Dylan Harper a few months ago, and people looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, he hooped just like his dad. His dad was a walking bucket. Who? Ron Harper? Ron Harper was a bum. He only averaged 6 points. No, you saw late career Ron Harper. You saw Ron Harper Chicago years. I'm talking Ron Harper in Cleveland and LA that averaged 19 to 20 some points. He used to go band for band with MJ on a nightly basis. That Ron Harper that would jump over anybody and dunk on. That's the Ron Harper I know. He balls like his dad.
The problem is the conversations you value and remember are not the ones with us because your hard time. You value the crazy people online that you talk to. Of course,
it wasn't with you guys because I can't say that. You guys wouldn't say something like that because you actually know. You know what I'm talking about. So it wasn't. Granted, it wasn't here. Because if it was here, you'd know. The second thing is you talk about Derek Queen being possibly drafted by the Wizards. I think that's probably the biggest mistake that can happen.
I disagree
with you.
Wizards
don't need him.
Hold on. It's not from a team standpoint. As a kid from Baltimore who went to Maryland, which is down the road in College Park, maybe 30, 45 minutes, depending on traffic. Then for him to get drafted into DC, I don't like it when kids stay home that much because then you got, once the money starts to flow in successfully like that, you got the hangers-ons and you got people that try to get into the inner circle and try to take them down from the inside. I don't like that. That's why Kevin Durant would never come back and play with the Wizards because it's too close to home, too many people, too many hangers-on, too many people going to be bothering him about stuff that ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Well, see,
he said that himself.
I mean, that might be his version of it, but then you got to take into account a kid like Bub Carrington. Bub is he went to St. Francis in Maryland. He's a local guy. I mean, he went to Pitt for college, but he's still
but he got out of the area for college. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you got to get guys to get out of. I didn't like LeBron going to Cleveland, but I thought that was a mistake.
I hear your theory, but I mean, for Derek Queen, that would even be better for him because he would be going to a place where a guy he played ball with in high school for 2 years. he'd be reunited with Bud Carrington. So I don't see that. I know the element you're talking about. I think they could get past that. But the reason I think, and especially in Jack's scenario, I just think they could take Queen as a piece to move later because this group likes to move people. I don't think Queen fits their style because he's not what's the word I'm looking for? He doesn't have positional size. So I don't see him being somebody that they would take unless they had some other move in place.
Did y'all see that video I put up in the chat about Shaq talking to the commissioner before draft time?
Yep,
that's nuts. Well, Shaq says he comes home during the draft combine and says you like go somewhere warm, somewhere cold. Apparently it was Orlando and maybe Minnesota. I think there was the two. Yeah. Shaq said, "Oh no, I don't like the cold." Boom. Orlando gets the number one pick in the draft. Then you get this year. GM makes the most ridiculous trade in NBA history. Boom, gets the number one pick in the draft. So and I thought that was janky anyway off jump. So this is just another draft that kind of proves the point. Sorry, I jumped off topic.
No. Cool, if you go back.
I think the problem we have is we have so much information now, we can make everything work. Like, I don't know if we got X-Files music, but like we probably you could have a segment just on like the interesting like scenarios, and KG could live out his lie about the 2000 Portland Trail Blazers, and like everybody can have their conspiracy theory. I've heard Shaq say that. I've heard a couple other scenarios laced out where it just so happened that it was just right. It was the right moment. The John Wall to Washington, Derrick Rose back to Chicago. I've heard all those stories. It is what it is, man. If that's what's going on, then that's what's going on. But I mean, we can't deny the great experience and the great things that have happened in basketball the last couple of years. And then the fact that we get the surprises. I mean, you got to think about the Giannis being taken at 12, Kawhi Leonard taking at like 14, Jokic taken during the Taco Bell commercial. Like, we got players that Halliburton taking 12. Like, we got guys that are outside of the top 10, outside of the lottery, that are impactful players right now. Well, and I think that's the thing that, like, as a Wizards fan, you got to kind of take some solace in that, is that I know you got PTSD from Jan Vesely and John Hot Plate Williams and Mel Turpin, Kenny Green. I know all that stress and trauma, but I mean, Tom Hammonds even. But you got to realize that in this spot, there's opportunities too. At 6, you can get a guy that nobody thought about, but as long as he can shoot it and feel it. Like, there's a kid, Trey Johnson. I forgot what school he goes to. He's 6'6". He fits everything they ask for. I can see him. He's a great shooter. And they have a theory that if you're an okay shooter, we can make you a good shooter. If you're a good shooter, we can make you a great shooter. And I think that kid fits them. And he's another person I think they may have to move up to get.
Well, look here. Who was SGA drafted by and traded?
SGA, it's not Sacramento. Where did he go? He was with the Clippers. He was with the Clippers, and then the Clippers traded for whatchamacallit?
Kawhi. Right? Was it Kawhi or Paul George?
Paul George.
Yep.
Paul George.
That's how they got
OKC.
That's nuts.
Well, actually, he was drafted by the Charlotte Hornets.
Okay. I understand. But on draft day,
the Clippers.
Okay.
Say that again.
And they got a number one pick out of the Hornets,
and then got traded on draft day to the Clippers.
Right. So he's a Clippers player because he wore a Clippers jersey. We're not going
to never wore that Hornets jersey.
No. I'm not saying that. I was just getting the timeline right.
We're just keeping you right, KG.
I'm not going in this argument again. Jesus.
But the Clippers traded the number one pick and some more shit to get George, didn't it? I think that built this team, that Clippers trade.
Well, the
a
Paul
bunch of
George
trades that
trade
built
built
this thing.
both Indiana and OKC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sacramento has helped build Indiana, but I would not. If I'm a person, like in retrospect, you can't get mad at the Halliburton deal with Indiana because you got Sabonis, and 2 years ago you were in the playoffs. The only problem is whatever team chemistry issues y'all had came to the forefront. You make the play-in 2 years ago, and then you get rid of you get rid of your guy. What is his name now?
What are you talking about, Darren Fox?
Yeah, you got rid of Fox. You know what I'm saying? So now you starting all over again. Like Sacramento's problem is leadership.
True.
All right, gents. Let's get to a couple of comments real quick, and then we're gonna go rapid fire because
I
we
think
are
that's
already
why
at
that's why
hour
Fox
16.
left, dude. I think that's why Fox left to get out of there.
Yeah.
Miss V Williams checking in. Great job, better and better every week. Thank you for that. Love
Thank
the
you, Miss
encouragement.
V.
Matty Ice says 68 is too much, but I see it expanding, and the mid-majors still will only see one team, and that's BS. I agree with that, Matty. He agrees with the Midnight Rider and said 100% correct, Midnight Rider. How long until the mid-majors and lower-end Power 5 go off on their own?
I don't
2
think
years?
they will. I don't think they will because I think they still get enough money off, even in the living in the margins for them will give them bigger money than them being out on their own.
Yeah.
Sam checking in.
What's he
Sam,
talking about?
let me tell you this before I even read your comment. That's 3 fines. You done missed 3 shows, man. That's fine. 50-cent fine for each show you missed, man. You wasn't first comment. 50-cent fine. He said all I saw was president on the screen and said, "What y'all got with Trump now?" Hell no, not on this show. Not
What's
on my
he talking
goddamn
about?
hour.
Let me give it to him. What you talking about, Willis?
The correspondent checking in said, "Queen ain't going too. Jack's dial-ups on the fritz again."
Mom, my dial-up's been fine. Do, do, do.
All right, let's go rapid fire real quick. Jack, give me some update on the Women's College World Series, please.
I will. First of all, I want to let you know the teams participating in this year's College World Series. We got the Florida Gators, the Texas Longhorns, Tennessee Vols, Oklahoma Sooners, Texas Tech Red Raiders, Ole Miss Running Rebels. No, they're just the Ole Miss Rebels, I believe. And the Oregon Ducks, Oregon Ducks, and UCLA Bruins. That's the 18 field. Earlier today, they started, and you had Florida and Texas in a nice one. 2 of the best pitchers in the tournament were throwing. You got the gal from Florida. Oh, what's her name again? Tyler Shoemaker. She's a monster. But anyway, Texas held off Florida to win 3-0. Mitchell hit 2 home runs and Stewart hit a home run. The Florida pitcher, her name is Kayan, T. Kayan. She had 2 hit, 1 strikeout, and 2 walks. She only struck out 1, dude. She pitched the whole game. So that was a lot of ground balls and fly balls, man. So kudos for her for keeping the ball in the stadium. Second game of the day was Tennessee and Oklahoma. Oklahoma is going for its 5th straight College World Series softball title. Oklahoma has been dominating this sport for the last 15 years. They've just been so good. Oklahoma was in an exciting game today, come down to the bottom of the 7th inning, and Oklahoma was down 3-1 at the time. And they had a walk-off home run from Miss Parker. She hit 2 home runs in this game to produce all of Oklahoma's runs. So Oklahoma won that on a walk-off 4-3. Currently, we got Ole Miss and Texas Tech playing. They had a weather delay to start the game, so they got a late start. And then tonight at 9:30 on ESPN2 is going to be Oregon versus UCLA. That should be a good West Coast matchup. Some of these teams, Texas A&M was the number one team heading into this in regionals. And the regional tournament to get to this 8 is pretty big field. They got knocked out of the regional by Liberty. So the number one team is not in the College World Series this year. Florida's got Tyler Shoemaker. She's a Player of the Year finalist, man. She's got 56 RBIs, first in the country. She's got 22 home runs, third in the country. They got a girl, Kendra Phobie. She fast as all get out. Got 36 stolen bases, ninth in the country. She leads the country. No, she doesn't lead the country. Excuse me. She's fifth in the country in hits with 90 hits. That's a lot of hits in softball season. The sixth-ranked team in this little double elimination tournament is Texas. Texas has a team batting average of 359, man. That's just sick. It's the second highest batting average in the country. They got a girl named Reese Atwood. She's a Player of the Year finalist as well. 85 RBIs for set number 2 in the nation and 21 home runs, 8th in the nation. They also got Caden Henry. She's blazing speed, 32 stolen bases. Stolen base in softball is difficult because you cannot leave the base until the ball leaves the pitcher's hand. It's not like you can run on the windup in baseball. So it's a bit harder to get these stolen bases. And then they got a young lady on this Texas team named Katie Stewart, 76 RBIs, 5th in the nation. She just gets the runs in. Then we got the number 7 seed in this tournament, the Tennessee Volunteers. Their pitching staff is second to none, man. They got a team ERA of 1.72, 6th in the country. That's under 2 runs a game they allow. Just sick. They got Carolyn Pickens. She is a Player of the Year finalist, and she's got a 1-run ERA. The best in the country. She's 24-9. They also got Kenzie Fielder, another fast girl. I try to find them girls that are quick. She's third in the nation with 8 triples. That girl just speeds on down the road. So Carolyn Pickens also has 280 strikeouts. She's 5th in the nation with that. This tournament is full of Player of the Year finalists, and I think that shows that the best of the best are here. Next, number 2, Oklahoma. Even though they're number 2, they've been the favorite in this show since day one. Why? Because they've won 4 in a row. So see if Oklahoma can go for a 5th with Sam Landry on the mound. She's another Player of the Year finalist, 1.92 ERA for that young lady. She's under 2 runs a game. It's just sick.
They're going for the Booker T.
Oklahoma has 2 Player of the Year finalists on their team. And that's how this program has been for the past 7 years. Just one Player of the Year finalist after another. They always bringing in the big guns. And the other Player of the Year finalist for Oklahoma is Cassidy Pickering. Cassidy Pickering, hell of a ball player, man. She played good today in that victory. Following after them is the number 12 ranked Texas Tech team. They got the second best pitching ERA team in the country at 1.79. Another team that doesn't give up more than 2 runs a game. They got Najee Kennedy, Player of the Year finalist. 30-5 is her winning record this year. She is the best ERA in the country, under 1 run a game, 0.89 ERA. That's just sick, Midnight Rider. 0.89. She was 279 strikeouts this year, 6th best in the country. And then she's got her name is Mahia. I love this name, Mahia Davis. She's the speed on this Texas Tech team. 6 triples, 85 hits. Number 17 ranked Ole Miss is first time ever in the College Softball World Series for Ole Miss. They defeated number 4 Arkansas to qualify. A number 17 seed made it to the College World Series. So they're going to be your Cinderella in this little double elimination tournament, guy. And then we got the number 16 ranked Oregon. Oregon, they better than number 16. They had a tough season, few injuries. So that affected their seeding, but they're strong. They got the 4th best hitting team in the country, batting .350. This is what pairs it with Oregon that shows you they're not a number 16 seed. They got the 4th best team batting average, okay? And then they got the 8th best ERA pitching. So their pitching and their hitting is at the top of the country. Watch out for Oregon to make some waves in this tournament. You got another speedster over here, and Paige Sinicki. She's got 6 triples. That's 6th in the nation. And then Elise Sokoliski, she has a 2.0 ERA. So when she's on the mound, it's tough to get runs. Then the last team we got here is UCLA with a team ERA of 2.45, 10th in the nation. Yep. Jordan Woolery. Jordan Woolery is just killing it over there. She's got 86 RBIs, the most in the nation. And she's also got 23 home runs, 5th in the nation. And then she's got help from Megan Grant with 79 RBIs and 25 home runs. So UCLA is going to hit some bombs. And then you got Savannah Pola with 96 hits, 4th in the country. You're going to see some talent in this tournament, guys, and it's going to be all over ESPN and ESPN2. So, I got a thing for the girls' fast pitch softball. I ended up, I'm a baseball coach, but I coached girls' fast pitch for 7-8 years when my daughter was playing. So I know the sport, and I got an appreciation for it. And, some of them girls ain't bad on the eyes. So check out this softball, man. It's not, hey, I see you over there, KG. A gal in a ponytail, or as they say, a gal in a pony, boy. That's sexy. Right, so,
Jack,
Oklahoma. Huh?
Jack will fit in real well on Saturday night with that, because that's what the WrestleManiacs do. Speaking of which, Sam said, "Oh, we find it now, bro. Y'all own like $500 to all of them WrestleManiac reruns." Hey, man. Be a holidays.
Yo, so my 2 cents on the College World Series. I found it funny that we were talking about this because this week GP Grant Paulson's out on vacation, and one of the topics that came up with Danny Routier, and I think it was Toby Altizer. He was talking about this time of year. What's the one thing that you kind of get into that makes you know it's not football or baseball season?
College World Series.
And his thing was he gets into the College Women's World Series. I'm the same way. Like, I don't pay any attention until we get to this point in time. And then as I watch games, I'll find somebody to like. I like Oklahoma's dominance, but I'll find another team.
Watch Tennessee.
Oh, I guess there you go. I was going to say the other team I like is Tennessee because it looks like Florida State didn't make it. So
no,
if Florida State would have made it, that would have been the team I would have rooted for in this. But I think I'm rooting for Tennessee in this mix this time. But it's funny because we're going to get sooner or later, we're going to get to the men's version. And, it's a double elimination. It's the most confusing way to get to the playoffs. Like, I've never understood it, how they get the
regionals. Yeah.
And the regionals, and there's double elimination, and it's 2 out of 3
regionals. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I just wait to the end because it makes more sense.
Well, Midnight Rider, the men start June 13th. So that's coming around the corner.
I ain't in no rush. I'm gonna watch these young ladies play on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? At 2 when I ain't got nothing else to watch.
But you watch that gal from Tennessee. She throws 80 miles an hour, man. It's unreal.
No, I like her. And then the young lady that you were talking about that hit the home run for Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. I knew, like I was listening to it on the radio, not the game, but I was listening to people talk about it, and that's how I remembered her. And it was just one of those situations where she came up in the right spot, man. And she's clutch.
Oh,
you gotta think about it. Bombers, dude. Oh, damn.
Oklahoma's got 7 girls that can go yard, man. They Oklahoma. Probably, I did not have that stat. Who has the most home runs for a team? But I think Oklahoma's probably up there. And like I say, They got 2 Player of the Year candidates on one freaking team. That's nuts. Again, it's not the first time it's happened to them.
So I have to interrupt your Women College World Series with a quick NHL update. So the Stars score on a power play, make it 3-2. They give up. You might as well just hit pause and turn around. Then they give up a breakaway to the man, the myth, the legend, Connor McDavid. So now it's 4-2. So Edmonton gave up a goal on the power play and now 4. So.
Well, let me give you an NBA update. Knicks 72, Pacers 57. About 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Here we go.
Oh man, I tell you, the NBA has been so crazy this year. I mean, I've seen it in years past, 10 years, but the way a lead is not secure in this league anymore. I'm sorry. If I'm up by 20 going into the fourth, you're not beating me, man. You're not. It's ridiculous.
If the musician wants to hit the button, Jack, you're getting beat.
It's not the button. The threes. It's you not managing the clock. Correct. These teams don't have the guards managing the clock man. 6th grade Ben Conti would have managed that clock, and we don't lose by 20 because we're taking the clock down to 8 to 10, and then I get it to my score. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Bang it inside. Do something.
See, like this day and age, think about it. You've never seen the 4 corners in this day and age because teams don't have to use that anymore because the shot clock is the excuse. But you can run a 4 corners in a 35-second shot clock and just eat up most of the clock until you get to a certain point. You just got to tell the dude that's taking the shot, don't take the dribble, step back twice, 3 off the wrong foot.
Correct. No. Go down, score 2 every time, and if they score 3 every time, they're still not going to beat me.
Exactly.
And I just don't understand. One time it was the 20-point lead with 7 left. So it's beyond me how these teams are losing 20-point leads so late in the game.
It's not beyond me. It makes all the sense in the world because we like scoring more than we like protecting. And
correct.
We'll take that. Think about that. There was that one stretch where I forgot who had the 20-point lead, but they got it inbound and scored a layup right away instead of taking the ball back out and dribbling off time off the clock. It's like these jokers they rather just take the bucket instead of taking down the clock and working the clock. Like those 24-second clock matters, man. That's all I got on that.
I agree. Poor clock management.
Well, quickly, Sam says, I was a Pacer fan up until last game, but man, they really annoy me now with Reggie Miller and Halliburton having a bromance. They cheesing too much. Fuck it. Go Knicks.
Yeah.
Let's get to this real quick before we get out of here. Manfred defends his decision to lift the ban on ineligible players, and he called the decision. MLB commissioner Rob Manfred calls the decision to take Pete Rose off permanently ineligible list difficult.
What'd you say? Difficult?
MLB commissioner Rob Manfred calls decision to take Pete Rose off permanently ineligible list difficult.
Difficult. It's difficult that you're doing it now. That's what.
But I'm going to call this what it is. I call it a bunch of horse shit.
Yes.
And you guys know, because we had this conversation right here, that we when we were celebrating Pete Rose's life, the first thing I said to Jack, I hope that they don't wait and say, okay, we're going to put him in the Hall of Fame. The answer is no. Give him his flowers while he can smell them. And what did they do? Oh, he's off the list. So in 2 years, they're going to wind up putting him in the Hall of Fame along with Shoeless Joe Jackson. No.
I wouldn't settle on that too soon, KG.
Okay.
I wouldn't, and this is just another one of my things, probably top 3 things in sports that I hate the most. And the third is the Baseball Writers of America, because there's some pretentious assholes. And for some reason, they love to say they're preserving the game when they're just being stubborn and idiotic. So I can see them making Pete wait until the last round just to be jerks because of him betting on baseball and hurting the integrity of the game and not representing the Cracker Jacks the right way and not giving the grass, the freshly cut grass, the smell that it's supposed to have. So I can see them still messing this up because they're the Baseball Writers of America and they're basically idiots on the most basic level.
Yeah, I feel you, buddy. I feel you.
Ridiculous. I actually have more confidence in the DC City Council getting the stadium deal right than I do the Baseball Writers of America getting Pete Rose right.
It's just a shame. If Pete didn't die, this wouldn't be going on.
Exactly.
Straight up. Truth is the truth. Okay? Pete don't die. Commissioner comes say, hey, Pete, we're going to lift the ban. You good to go. Oh, crap. So, and like I said, man, I've been to Cooperstown a couple times. There's a Pete Rose museum right down the street from the Hall of Fame, maybe 3 blocks. Pete Rose Mickey Mantle Museum. I had a better time in the Pete Rose Mickey Mantle Museum, which is right across the street from the Cooperstown American Legion, than I did in the Hall of Fame. I really did. Maybe it's because I'm a big Pete Rose fan, but that's crap. They're all. We knew. We said it when Pete died that they're going to end up getting him in the hall now. Watch. And how long has it been? 6 months.
But that's the only. But Jack, I don't think he's on the ballot right away. I think he has to wait
5
a year.
years. 5 years, I believe.
And I think that's also done because they know the Baseball Writers of America are fucking imbeciles. Excuse my language.
2 F-bombs a day for us. Not bad.
And excuse me, I'll say this. You talk a good guy. I remember it was like 2000. This is Seeley. Seeley said one of the last things he wanted to do was lift the ban for Pete Rose. He always wanted to come to the table and talk about it, but never sat down and talked about it. Manfred said he was going to take up the mantle and he was going to talk about it. Never sat down and talked about it. What you're telling me is you're full of shit. And this is a bullshit ass move that you're pulling. I don't like it. I don't think it should have been difficult for you.
Let's just remember Pete Bud Selig manipulated the Astros. Who did he move? Yeah, he moved the Astros to the division he was in because they wanted to sell or do something. I forgot what it was. And in return, the Milwaukee Brewers end up in the Central. And that's how Milwaukee became relevant again. Forget Selig. He's also the one that sold his soul to Angelos to get Washington baseball because he knew Washington was the only spot for baseball, but he couldn't convince that jerk, that ass, Peter Angelos, rest in peace, asshole, to nudge on his stance.
Yep.
Sam said Rose lucky to even have a headstone the way they'd be taken from him. I agree with that. I agree but here's a caveat. Once you brung betting into sports, especially baseball, I shouldn't hear nothing else about Pete Rose being banned. Anything with the Chicago Black Sox, I don't want to hear nothing about it because that shit got to be lifted. Because you're encouraging betting now after it was been frowned upon for centuries. Now you're encouraging it. Yep. Get out of here.
Yep.
Let's stop the madness. Stop the madness.
With you.
I don't exactly agree with that, but I hear where you're coming from.
I got you. We had an hour 40. So let's we wrap this thing up, fellas. I know we had some MLB talk to go. We can push that till Sunday.
Yeah,
I'm cool.
that's fine.
I'm cool.
That's good for you, gentlemen. All right. Hold on. Okay, that's something different. I thought something popped across. Final thoughts before we get out of here.
I just want to see good playoffs from here on out. Like, I think we've cut the fat off. Now it's time to start getting the butter from the duck. Like, we shouldn't have finals games, team winning by 20, 30, 40. I mean, you can have one game, but we shouldn't have a series full of these games. We should actually have some good basketball to finish this out. And I do know that the style of the Thunder will make it difficult on whoever they play. But I just can't wait to see how this finals plays out when it starts. Same thing with MLB. I mean, I'm gonna say not MLB, NHL. Just remember that no matter how soon these finish, they still got to wait those games out because they had to make reservations in those stadiums and those arenas. So you can't start a series no sooner than most time. You don't start it any sooner than what's allowed. So you gotta let the other series play out as if they were a 7-game series, even though they aren't. So just be ready to wait a week or so for the next basketball or the next NHL game, depending on how these games play out.
Okay. And for me, I got an update on the Texas Tech Ole Miss softball over there playing in Oklahoma. Texas Tech is up 1-0. We're at the top of 6. In college softball, they play 7 guys. So really tight game going there. And I think you are going to see some tight games. I mean, yes, some of these teams got bombers, but I think there's more pitchers than bombers in this year's World Series bracket. So check that out. I really, if you've never checked out college softball, man, check it out. These girls are some good athletes, and you see some great ball.
Agreed.
Final thoughts from me. Knicks up 86-64, about a minute 52 left in the third. Don't forget to tune in on Saturday and check out the Saturday Night WrestleManiacs. Check back in with us on Sunday morning with the Sunday Rise. And if I'm not mistaken, Jack, in the passenger seat doing double duty next week, right?
To be determined. I will know by probably tomorrow. But
okay.
Yeah, possibility. Well, it's definitely going to happen. Eventually, in the passenger seat, we got to jump to 2 days just to get some of this backlash of my schedule taken care of. Because, I mean, nobody wants to wait 3 months to be on the show. So, yeah, we pretty solid in the passenger seat. We got some great guests coming up. We're gonna switch up a little bit. I know we've been heavy on the football coaches. I got an umpire coming soon. I got a female semi-pro football player coming. I got state championship baseball coach, state championship lacrosse coach coming. Just won the 2025 Maryland State Championship last week. So it's going to be exciting in the passenger seat here for the next 6 weeks at least. So tune in, man. We have a blast. And you really get to learn about some of the people we talk to. And, I mean, me and Midnight Rider have made friendships with some of the guys, too. Been out and seen them.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to say we went on a date no more. Midnight Rider don't like that.
Nah. Leave that to your wife.
A couple more.
I hung out with you, dog.
We got a couple more dates scheduled.
No,
JC
we don't.
Always packing the schedule.
Hey, if you don't want me to show up, keep calling the date.
We got some
date. I won't
coming.
show up.
It's gonna be an awesome 6 weeks or so, man. Especially once we start going twice a week. Watch out. So yeah, big things coming in the passenger seat. Me and the Midnight Rider. So check us out, as I like to say it. Peep us. I need something.
All right. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, that is our time for the night. For the gentleman Jack, the Midnight Ride, I'm the big guy KG. I could say we don't do no overtime, but we in overtime now, boss. BJ ain't gonna sign them time cards too much longer, but we are out of here.